We often don't realize that we are the key to our own happiness, and that happiness starts with healing and transformation. Whether you need healing, guidance, clarity, understanding, or just some honest sister talk to feel connected, heard, and supported, you are welcome and safe here. So join the conversation and be healed. Welcome to Soul Healing Conversations with your host, Roz Kincaid.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the show. I hope you all are staying safe and staying well and taking care of yourselves and practicing very good social distancing to minimize the spread of the coronavirus. I am your host, Roz Kincaid, and you are listening to Soul Healing Conversations. You can connect with me on the web at rozkincaid.com or at Soul Healing with Roz on Facebook and Instagram. And before we get into today's show, I want to give a shout out to one of my biggest supporters and my sponsor, Shine Coaching and Consulting. Listen, if you want to take your business to the next level, then you need to be working with Emily Stat. And so I also want to say a special hello to my listeners in Canada, China, and Ireland. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'm excited that you're listening to the show. So today we are going to be talking about chakras, auras, and subtle bodies. If you guys recall from last week, or if you were got a chance to listen last week, I did do a high-level intro to energy, and talked about the components of our human energy. Well, today I have a very special guest with me on the line to continue that conversation. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, Alice Jones, to the show. Hi, Alice.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Happy to be here.
Great. Well, great. It's good to have you on. I'm so thankful for you being on the show today and joining the conversation about energy and chakras. I think that this kind of conversation is well needed in the challenging times with, everything kind of running rampant and everything all heightened. So I think this is timely, and I'm glad to have you with all of your wisdom and experience to join us and share all of that with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alice, great. So Alice, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My journey obviously started when I was born with a caul over my face. I was born in Poland, and the caul is where the placenta doesn't detach from the person. And and it's an omen of great psychic ability. And then I recognized, I looked up at the sky. My earliest memory was looking up at the sky at the age of 4 and saying, who am I and what is my purpose? And I didn't know the answer to those questions, but I knew that I was old, and I knew what old meant.
Wow.
And then I recognized that I heard voices from the time I was 8 years old. And so I didn't talk to anybody about that. I just thought this is normal. And at 21, I got involved in a disastrous marriage. And that's when I turned to channeling. But at that time, I was just journaling. And it was only after many, many years when I went to reread my entries in all my journals that I recognized that 50% of what I wrote were messages that were coming through me, not from me. And I recognized that these were spiritual beings talking to me. And it just took off from there. But so it's been a long time in coming.
Wow. What a story. What a story. That's amazing. Like at the age 4, that's about almost the age that my daughter is, to be able to know that you have that ability and that you're aware of that connection. That is amazing. That is amazing. Thank you. Wow. So that sounds like another conversation for another day, but that is right. Geez. I'm impressed. Like I've never met anybody with, what do you call it, a caul? They were born with a caul. Is that the same thing as being born with a veil over you? Is that the same thing? Oh, okay.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And I think many cultures will consider that an omen of great psychic ability. But I think, Roz, I was like everybody else. I just wanted to live my life. I just wanted to be normal. And so as I got into adulthood and I recognized in the 90s, those voices would wake me up in the middle of the night, usually between 2 and 4 a.m., and they wouldn't let go of me. I had to come downstairs from the bedroom, sit down at my computer, and start writing exactly what I heard. And so that was an interesting part of my journey, because I think that Spirit was getting messages to me practically my entire life, but I wasn't ready to listen. I wasn't ready to accept them and incorporate them into the wholeness of myself.
Wow.
So.
Wow. And understandably so, something like that can be kind of, pretty overwhelming, just having to deal with all of it and not really understanding it yourself and not really knowing what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard.
Totally.
It's hard to come into that knowing, into that being, and not really know what to do with it, and being in this human existence, not understanding, how socially it's going to be perceived by the people that you love and your friends. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And not wanting to, wanting to be responsible with it as well. It's heavy.
Well, and I think like everybody else in my 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s, all I wanted to do was live my life and raise my family, have my job. I was a real estate broker. In every respect, I did not want to be ridiculed. I did not want to stand out as being weird or anything like that. So there was one time, metaphorically, I kind of shook my, fist to the heavens, and I just said, I just want to be normal. And the words I heard inside my head was, get over it. This is normal.
Wow. Oh my God. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Alice. So you are a Reiki practitioner. You are a Reiki master, and you also teach Reiki from what I've read about you. So
yes.
For those who are unfamiliar, could you explain to our audience a little bit about chakras and auras, and kind of break it down for us just a little bit, so that we all can get a good understanding of what they are, and, just give us some understanding.
Sure. Absolutely. Basically, chakras, auras, and subtle bodies are all part of your energy system. It's like you have a physical body and you have physical, everything breaks down into organs and glands and veins and bones, and you have structures. That's what your energy body is the three main components of it is the chakra, the aura, which is comprised of the chakras and the subtle bodies. And the chakras, I'm going to start at the bottom because it's a very logical progression from top to bottom. You have 7 major chakras, and an 8th one is opening up in our body. The first one is called the root chakra, and that's at the base of your spine. And the root is your foundation. It's just like it says, it's the root. It's the part of you that has you feeling safe on this planet, because I'm talking about metaphysical characteristics now when I say feeling safe. But your root is also what connects you to Mother Earth. And it is through your root and the visualization of you sending like tentacles down to the center of the earth to get the earth energy, to bring it up to you, that makes you or helps you receive earth energy. That's 50% of the energy that's available to you. Your foundation is your root chakra, deals with your skeleton, deals with your skin, with the outer covering, and, with bones, with the marrow inside your skin, and these type of things. So moving on, your second chakra is your sacral, and that's right above, and that's where your genital area is, where that's your seat of creativity.
Right.
And that's where you birth, again, metaphysically, that's where you also birth your great ideas. And so that has you have a very, your whole creative life comes from your second chakra. Your third chakra is your solar plexus. That is right. People will say different things, but to me, it feels like right at your belly button, or sometimes 1 or 2 inches above your belly button.
Okay.
And your third chakra is the seat of what I call your personal I am, your personal feeling of belonging, your personal attitude of, I am here, I want to be heard, I am doing the job I came here to do. So your third chakra is what gives you a fit if you're not in the job that you should be in.
So that's what I've been feeling. That's what I've been feeling. So I work in IT, right? And so, but I also do spiritual work part-time. And so I'm telling you, Alice, every day that I log on and that I go to work. Now, listen, I'm thankful for the means of income and a way to create wealth for myself. But every time I sit down at that job, there is something in me that shoots up and says, I don't like being here. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing, but I push through it anyway. And so you just blew my mind just now, because I had no idea where that feeling or where that idea or that thought form really came from. And now I know that it's in my thought, in my third chakra. Wow.
It's in your third chakra. And the meaning of the word chakra itself is a spinning wheel of light. Except that I'm going to expand this definition a little bit so that your listeners can really get a visual picture of what the chakra looks like. It's not just a spinning wheel of light. It's 7 of them. So 7 coils, they look like a funnel. And obviously the smallest part of the funnel is what is attached to your core, which is in the same place as your spinal column. And your core, from your core, the funnel goes out. And typically a chakra could be 6 to 8 inches. It could be 12 inches. It could be 36 inches. So it can expand and it can contract. And it also can do funny things, but those are distortions. And, we can talk about that at another time. Right. But your feeling, Roz, that feeling that you had, like, I don't want to be here, that's where it's starting. It's starting in that third chakra, because this is its purpose is to tell you that, yes, you're in the right place. You are where you're supposed to be. You're where your soul contract, signed you up for. The mission it signed you up for in this lifetime. Right. So, okay. And I'm going to go over the colors. Actually, I probably should have gone over them to begin with. The color of the root is red. The color of the sacral is orange. And the color of the solar plexus is yellow. And so it's the colors of the rainbow, basically. Yeah. And now we get to the fourth chakra. And the fourth chakra is what is known as the gatekeeper, because it's the fourth chakra that's your heart and your lungs. And look at what's happening to the world right now. Our lungs are under attack. But it's not only the lungs, it's also what the lungs represent.
Yes.
The fact that our connection to God is through our breath. That's why there's such a huge emphasis in yoga practice or Tai Chi or any Qigong or any one of the, the practices to regulate your breath, to control your breath. And effectively, if you stop to think, Roz, you can live for months without food. You can live for weeks without water, but
That's
you
true.
can only live for minutes without breath.
Without air. That's true. You're so right. You're so right. Wow. So let me ask you a quick question. We're going to be coming up on a break pretty soon, but I want to ask you, when you were talking about the sacral and that is where our creativity lives.
Yes.
Is that is the place where it's not in our mind where we get this bright idea. The energy of that creative idea first is born in our sacral. Was that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, when people, let's say they had a physical abortion, most people abort their great ideas.
Wow. Let me stop you right there. We need to take a quick break. You guys don't go anywhere. Alice is giving up wisdom and key knowledge here to help us out. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Alice Jones on chakras, auras, and subtle bodies. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You have a passion, and from that passion, you've created a business. But how do you market and grow that business? Hi, I'm Emily of Shine Coaching and Consulting. I specialize in brand identity, website design, marketing consulting, and business coaching. I create a visual expression of my clients' ideas and help them develop a business strategy to meet their goals. Connect with me today at shinecoachingandconsulting.com. Be inspired, be real, be you.
The Voice America Live Events channel is here now to showcase your corporate, individual, or organization's live event. Visit voiceamerica.com/live events to see all of our past live events and find out more. Whether it's a multi-day conference, special speaker, or single-day event, we've got everything to make your event a success. We can do a few hours or a few days. For more information about taking your event to the next level, call Jeff Spinard at 480-294-6417 or email info@voiceamerica.com. Again, that's Jeff Spinard at 480-294-6417 or send us an email to info@voiceamerica.com. Voice America is where you are and where you want to be. Join us around the globe as we broadcast live from some of the most interesting events available. Don't forget to view all our live events, including on-demand access to past events that you may have missed by visiting voiceamerica.com/live events.
Stimulating talk.
It gets those synapses in the brain firing really fast.
All the time. The #1 internet talk station where your opinion counts. VoiceAmerica.com.
You are tuned in to Soul Healing Conversations. If you would like to reach Roz Kincaid or her guest today, please call into the program at 1-866-472-5788. That's 1-866-472-5788. You may also send an email to hello@rozkincaid.com. Now, back to Soul Healing Conversations.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Roz Kincaid. And again, you're listening to Soul Healing Conversations. You can connect with me at rozkincaid.com or at Soul Healing with Roz on Facebook and Instagram. And I am here with my guest, Alice Jones. And our conversation topic today is chakras, auras, and subtle bodies. And before the break, Alice, you and I were talking about aborting our creativity, our creative ideas in our
Correct.
sacral. Go ahead and yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's the tragic part. The whole purpose of the second chakra is to birth great ideas. And my sense with great ideas is that if God led you to it, God will lead you through it.
Come on, man.
And unfortunately, most people have these great ideas and then they talk themselves out of it because their ego kicks in and says, well, who do you think you are? Oh my God, that's going to cost a lot of money. Or what will the neighbors think if you start doing whatever it is that,
right,
had in mind, even to the point of that's what I call WWTNT. What will the neighbors think? That held me back practically for 30 years before I agreed to step into my role as one of God's teachers.
Wow. That's crazy how that happens with us being, energetic bodies, spiritual beings in this human. It's crazy how the impact and the ego and the flesh can have on us from living from a divine space. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, we hold ourselves back. We hold ourselves back with our own ego and our own, perceptions and just being wrapped in flesh and as a human, it's tough.
Yes.
But we can ascend. We can get there.
That segues right into the fifth chakra because, the fourth chakra is green, and because that's the next color in the rainbow. And the green is also, there is another color associated with the fourth chakra, and that's pink, because that's the color of the Blessed Mother, and that's the color of divine mercy and compassion.
Okay.
So you might see pink occasionally, and the rose quartz is a beautiful pink crystal that comes in. But, and of course, what's the meaning of the heart? Love. So effectively, why the heart is called the gatekeeper and why the fourth chakra is called the gatekeeper is because you have to have your heart open in order for you to be able to access the fifth, sixth, the seventh, and the eighth chakra. So if your heart is closed for whatever reason, it could be that you're highly critical. It could be that you're highly judgmental. It could be that you absolutely are stuck in being lacking forgiveness because there was something very, in your estimation, horrendously traumatic that happened in your life, and where you cannot forgive. So effectively, you're stuck and you live in the first, second, and third chakras. And Roz, 85% of humanity lives in the first, second, and third chakras.
Wow.
So you can get by very adequately just activating that portion of your existence, of your spiritual anatomy. But you're going to miss out. So
and so with only those being activated, how does that affect our connection to source, to our higher self, to our other second, third, and first, and that eighth? The fifth, sixth, and seventh, and eighth chakras. I'm sorry, I'm going the wrong way. How does that impact?
Right. Okay. If for you to be able to access, to get up through, you really have to work on opening your heart. You have to work on exactly what I was talking about, being able to forgive, letting go of judgment, letting go of criticism, letting go of I'm right, you're wrong, and I have the right to destroy you, even to the point of killing you because of that. Letting go of those kind of attitudes. And when you can let go of that, then the energy can flow upward, and your fifth chakra is called your throat chakra, and it typically is just, I typically will see it as cobalt blue, which is a very clear, very beautiful, very vibrant blue color. Yeah. And this is the source of your divine truth. This is the source of you, just like your third chakra is the source of your personal truth. This is the source of you, and I think you just said it earlier, of you being able to then access all the components of the spiritualness of your being. And so effectively, this is, and when you hold yourself back from speaking your truth, what happens? You come down with colds, you come down with, and I think the coronavirus is part of it's certainly part of the fourth, but I think it's also part of the fifth chakra, and blockage. And you are just not able to cross over into the rest of the divine being that you are. So, and it's interesting because when I do healings and I am at the fifth chakra and I see a band across a person's neck, I might see it as a solid band. I might see it as a broken band. That's when I recognize, and I ask the client, I tell them what I see, and I ask them, where are you holding back from saying what you want to say? And then many times people will burst into tears, and because I found them out, and because energy is energy.
Yeah,
and
you can't hide energy.
Doesn't lie.
You can't hide it either.
That's right. You can't hide it and everything. But moving on to your sixth chakra, that's it's called your brow chakra or your third eye. You've probably heard both terms.
Yes.
This is the place, this is the seat of your intuition. This is where you get your sixth sense. This is your gut instinct. This is where you have a sense that you know is way out there, and it's not coming from your ego mind. It's coming from your spirit mind. And the beauty with this is that in most diagrams, this is shown as indigo, but I typically will see it as purple, and or a deep purple. So not quite indigo, but more on the purple. And then moving into the crown chakra, this is at the top of your head, and if you can visualize a 1,000-petal lotus sitting on this, and it can be either closed completely, like a tight, like a bud, like a rosebud. It can be partially open, or it can be fully open. And if it's fully open, this is where the points of the crown are every single benevolent virtue that you know: kindness, mercy, gentleness, love, understanding, humanness, beauty, joy, harmony, balance. So these are all different points on the crown. This is also your direct connect to the divine. This is where you receive a knowing. You know that you know You know that you know that you know, but you don't know how you know. You
Right,
just
right.
know.
That's that claircognizance.
Correct. And the beauty is that most of the time I will see this as a lavender or a clear white, because many of the people that I work with have worked so hard on clearing their chakras that they come in as, and I can see that their crown is white or clear, because it's white light, but you see right through it. So.
Right. So what is the significance? You said you sometimes see the crown as a lavender. What is the significance or the connection there with the lavender color? That's the first I've heard of that, and I find that interesting.
Well, it's again because I see the third eye as purple, then the combination of the purple with the white would give me lavender.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Wow.
Right. So that's why I think I see it as lavender, because it's like it's the nature of the clientele that I serve, and how hard they're working, to understand their spiritual selves.
So now, me as also as a Reiki practitioner and a Reiki master, in my training, I was taught that, and you said it earlier, that the chakras and the auras are all in the subtle bodies are all connected. Actually, the
Correct.
chakras and the subtle bodies are all connected through the auras. So when I've been taught that when there is something unhealthy or blocked or unbalanced in one of the chakras, that you can typically, that translates out into one of the layers of the auras. Can you talk about that just a little bit?
Absolutely. And I'm going to, again, just for the sake of your audience and to give them the visual that I think will be the most beneficial for them, I'm going to start at the bottom. And I'm going to start with the root, which is chakra number 1. Its subtle body is anywhere from 3 to 6 inches away from the physical body, and its subtle body is an exact template of the physical body. It's called the etheric body. So if you can think of yourself walking through a door and realizing that, oh, well, here I am, I fit this way through the door, but my root chakra is actually, expanded 3 to 6 inches away in every direction. And it also, the etheric body, Roz, is the reason we have phantom pain. So if you lose an arm or a leg and it's no longer there, but yet you say, oh my God, my left leg hurts me, but you don't have a left leg. That's what you're feeling. You're feeling pain in your etheric body.
I have an interesting question about that.
That's kind of interesting that, that's something most people don't know.
Okay.
And the second one is the sacral is actually called the emotional body, because the emotional body, and it too has the same color as the chakra. It's going to be orange. And every single one of these layers is approximately 6 inches further out. So ultimately, if you can visualize yourself encased in an egg of energy, because that's what you physically look like to spirit, that you have every 6 inches approximately a different color and a different layer. And I know in Reiki too, when I have my students, we do scanning. So I teach them how to place their hands on their physical body and move their hands ever so very slowly away from their physical body until they bump up and just feel a tiny bit of resistance. And it could be that something starts tingling on the top of their hand. They're going to have a sensation. It could be that it changes from warm to cool. It could be that there's a prickliness.
Right.
Something. They're going to feel something. Then they know they're in their next layer. And because between every single subtle body is a layer of communication.
Wow.
So that, too, gives you a little bit to practice with, something else that you can do. So your second subtle body, like I said, is all about emotion. And then moving on, your third subtle body, another 6 inches, is called your mental body, because this is where all your thoughts live. And this is where you have if you have problems with the issues on this planet, chances are it's going to be in second, third, or fourth subtle body that are going to cause you the greatest harm. Could be also in your throat, but most of the time people will feel it in that. And like you asked about the distortions, well, yes, because if there is a blockage, if there is something going on that doesn't belong there, it no longer. And I'm just gonna give you again an example. We worked with a woman who had a stomach tumor, and we helped her get rid of it. And then, unfortunately, it came back twice. The third time it came back, it killed her.
Wow.
The stomach tumor came back because no matter how much energy we gave her, she had such hatred for her father. And all she kept saying, I hate my father. I hate my father. I hate my father. And
Alice,
every time she said that.
Wow. Let's take a quick break, because I want you to finish that story and pull that in and help us to understand how that's affecting the subtle bodies and the chakras. So after this break, we're going to come back and let you finish this story. So you guys hang tight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You have a passion, and from that passion, you've created a business. But how do you market and grow that business? Hi, I'm Emily of Shine Coaching and Consulting. I specialize in brand identity, website design, marketing consulting, and business coaching. I create a visual expression of my clients' ideas and help them develop a business strategy to meet their goals. Connect with me today at shinecoachingandconsulting.com. Be inspired, be real, be you.
Follow the Voice America Variety channel on Twitter. Our hosts always have something to say, and we know that you do too. We tweet on today's hot topics, and you're welcome to follow us. Speak up and join in at Voice AM Variety. That's at Voice AM Variety. Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
You are tuned in to Soul Healing Conversations. If you would like to reach Roz Kincaid or her guest today, please call into the program at 1-866-472-5788. That's 1-866-472-5788. You may also send an email to hello@rozkincaid.com. voiceamerica.com. Now, back to Soul Healing Conversations.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with Alice Jones, and she is giving us what feels like a whole class, a whole workshop of very, very good information on chakras, subtle bodies, and auras. And before we get back into the conversation, I want to give another special thank you to today's sponsor, Shine Coaching and Consulting. And so, Alice, before we dropped off on a break, you were giving us a very compelling example of how distortions in the emotional body can affect us.
Correct. And yes, and just to finish up the example, think of it this way. Think of yourself walking around with all these layers, and then one of those layers, every time you have this thought, I hate my father, and that's pretty close to you. The emotional body is, is within 6 inches of your physical body. There's think of a black, like a black crayon just going round and round and round. And pretty soon you have got such a, it's almost like a beach ball. You could have a beach ball size of blackness in your energy field. And is that going to allow your energy to flow smoothly? Absolutely not. So as a result, your energy is going to distort. And the irony is that disease basically starts in our subtle bodies that are related to the chakras and moves from the 7th to the 6th, to the 5th, to the 4th, to the 3rd, to the 1st, and then ends up in our physical body. And how you know you've got a problem, you have discomfort, because every time you think about something, there's that level of discomfort. And I don't want to look at that, or I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to talk about that. Whatever it is, you are not willing to face it. And so that's where humans run into problems, because dis-ease becomes disease. And disease, once it hits your physical body, then you've got another whole issue to deal with. But
so not only, I'm sorry, go ahead. So not only does when we have distortions or blockages in our energy, not only are we seeing that in our physical body as disease, but we're also seeing that in our emotional responses to triggers and things that we might, see or hear or experience.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. And because that's the whole purpose of the subtle body of the second chakra is to deal with the emotions. The subtle body of the third chakra is to deal with the mental, the thoughts. And think about this, Roz. When you have nothing but negative thoughts, where do they go? A lot of them just circulate around in your own mental field.
That's right.
And so think it's just wicked. But if you stop to think, like black insects, black bats, black negative thought forms, just circulating. And pretty soon they're, like I said, they get dense enough to where they filter down, and then show up as disease in your body. So,
wow, I'm just amazed. My mind is blown.
The other thing too that's so interesting about the aura is that the aura is the way, without you even realizing it, you influence people as to how they're going to react to you. Because if you're, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask, is that because those layers are so expanded, or what is it about those two layers that have that influence?
Well, if you're throwing out insecurity and you're throwing out anger. Let's take anger. And because you're angry at your spouse, you're angry at your significant other, you're angry at your child, you're angry at your parents and everything. There's certain, like, it almost feels like a blast of pinpoints. And those pinpoints can actually be felt by anybody who comes within your energy field. They don't know what they're feeling. They just know that they're feeling some kind of discomfort by being around you. And here you are energetically broadcasting something, and you don't even have a clue you're broadcasting yet.
Because you're picking it up from somebody else. You're feeling the vibration
You
of
could be
somebody
picking,
else.
right? You could be picking it up from somebody else, but it could be the product of your thoughts. And this is another reason why it is so critical to stay positive. And especially now, this whole world is caught almost in a trap of negative thinking. No matter what, we have to remember that, and I think you said it earlier, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, that we can control practically nothing out there, but we can control our attitude. And even though there's so much trauma out there, we still have to find a way to stay positive no matter what. And that's why shows like yours are so important.
Thank you. Definitely, staying positive, and it's not just, not, being real and not recognizing the reality of the world, but you don't have to get sucked into that. You don't have to go along with that ride. Like you can still live in a society where those things are still happening, but you don't have to go along for the ride, and
Correct.
I just hope that, this is what the show is doing for people, is to keep them at a high vibration, keep them in a positive mindset, and giving information, if nothing else, on how and ways to do that. So we've got a few more other layers. Is that right? That we kind of go through where we connect spiritually, and.
Right. We have the seventh, the sixth layer, which is it's strictly related to the brow, and that's the layer where our intuition comes in, and the seventh layer. But effectively, there are 12 additional. There's a total of 12 layers, and the only one that's being activated right now in a very, very big way is the 8th chakra, because the 7th chakra, I just spoke about it briefly. It's the 7th, the 1,000-petal lotus, and how that's all the virtues. But the 8th chakra is approximately 8 inches above our head, but it is connected to the thymus. It's connected between the throat and the heart. And its color is aquamarine, and its characteristic is compassion. And if you stop to think, when you said you have a little 4-year-old.
Yes.
I can remember, I'm sorry?
She's 3, almost 4.
Almost 4. Well, she'll probably, within a couple years, she might have like a little lemonade stand. And I can remember my daughter is going to be 30. She's 38, so she'll be 39 this year. I can remember when she did her her lemonade stand in the neighborhood. She came back with a fistful of dollars and was so happy and was going to take them to buy something. Well, as of maybe 10, 12 years ago, 5-year-olds were putting up lemonade stands and sending their proceeds to tsunami victims on the other side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge difference in the way people are reacting now. And the beauty is that we can see the opening, in people of compassion, even in spite of the wars, in spite of the hatred and the discontent and the alarm and everything. We can still see the marvelous way that people are helping each other, even to the point where I'm the last couple of TV shows that I watched where the first responders, the caregivers were going and begging for face masks because they didn't have enough. They were reusing them and reusing them for multiple days. And then somebody suggested that anybody with a sewing machine, the pattern is out there. Send them face masks. And energetically, when I scan the United States, I know that there are people doing that. So,
absolutely. This whole pandemic is not out here to kill us. This is really for our benefit. This is really to get us all to elevate. It's really all to get us to activate that compassion that we all have, even at the age 3 and 4. Like, come on, y'all. This you have to see this from a different perspective, and our energy is changing. And I feel like, Alice, that the universe, Gaia, God, Spirit, they're all giving this situation to us as a gift and an opportunity, most of all, to really ascend, to transform into closer to who we really are, to back to our spiritual selves. And I just feel like that, if we can understand our energy, understand our subtle bodies, and get the help that we need, we can all just go up another level. We can all change the world. We can all go up another level and give each other what we need, So we have a couple of minutes before we have to go. And Alice, I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. You have given me personally so much to think about. You've given us so much wisdom, so much insight that we can use to better care for ourselves during these challenging times. And even after, this is over, because this is just the beginning, And so I really appreciate you so much for being a guest on the show today. And I thank all of my listeners today. Alice, I believe you have some specials or a special discount that you're offering to our listeners today. Is that right?
Absolutely. I have two things. I've just gone ahead and changed the one, so they'll both be a 25% discount. I have a wonderful book that was channeled and in 1999, but it took me 20 years to release it. So I didn't release it until 2018, but it's called Own Your Power Day by Day, and it has a meditation for every single day. And believe it or not, this is Spirit's humor. My meditation for today covers a lot of the same topics that I just covered with you today. So it was I just cracked up when I read that. But like I said, it's 750 pages total, but you read only 2 pages a day, and that will be 25% off. And my normal prices for my healings, the same thing, 25% off, healings or readings. And all they have to do is mention that this show. That's all they have to do. And wonderful. You would sign up on my website, www.alicja, ALICJA,
Wonderful. I'm also going to post that information on my social media sites as well. Join us next week, everybody, for another conversation. Alice, again, thank you so very much. I hope everyone welcome. Is staying safe. Hope you all are staying well and taking care of yourselves. And for Christ's sakes, keep your distance and wash your hands. Until next time, everybody, take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you again for listening to Soul Healing Conversations. Please join Roz Kincaid again for another program next Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Variety Channel. We'll talk again next week.